Right, so this next bit is kind of the biggest news of the week. Tegan Knox, if that name even rings a bell with you, Dutch, but wrestling under the name of Nixon Newell. So this has got a bit of a...
What? Wait a minute. What's that last name?
Nixon Newell.
Nixon Newell. That's a horrible. That's a real name or no?
No, Newell is a surname, but she's got a different first name. Look, Nixon Newell's a terrible wrestling name. Let's not...
No kidding.
Yeah. Anyway, it's all right, because she ain't wrestling very much at the moment, and that's kind of the point we're getting at. So the former Tegan Knox in WWE, she was a... let's call it how it is, marginal talent in WWE at best, who seemingly spent just as much time on the injury list than she did in wrestling rings, was fired last year from WWE. She then did an interview a few months ago saying how she wasn't getting many bookings and it was, quote, a nightmare. Like, she barely getting any bookings anyway. So she clearly needs to work.
Go get a job.
You could just get a proper job. So she clearly needs to work. And then her tag partner in AEW is also her girlfriend in real life, Miranda Alize. She's a no-name in wrestling. She had like a few matches in Ring of Honor, I guess.
Okay, now what is her name? Miranda
Alize or Alize or whatever, however you pronounce it. But I'm just going with Alize.
I liked it better when I thought you said Miranda leave.
Well,
that would have been the best thing.
Well, Miranda left.
I don't even know the girl.
No, okay. Miranda left with Tegan Knox. Anyway, she's basically in indie wrestling, not doing anything really of note. Anyway, a couple of AEW Collision episodes ago, this tag team made their debut in a losing effort to Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. So they're two of AEW's...
Okay, but this Tegan girl, or Tegan, she was in WWE or NXT.
She was in both for 8 years total, or 7 years total.
No kidding.
She was there for NXT for like 3-4 years, and then WWE for 3-4 years.
Well, she didn't make any waves.
No, she didn't. I mean, that goes to the point. So,
hey, that was like, if they used her for 8 years, that was like they just gave her, it was a gift.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've seen her and she's nothing special.
She wrestled in their debut, these two girls, Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. They're two of AEW's bigger names in the women's division. They're part of a women's tag team title tournament. Anyway, they lost in less than 2.5 minutes. There were already complaints internally that Tegan Knox, now known as Nixon Newell, and Miranda were sandbagging Megan Bayne in the match on one of her power spots. And people were surprised that they were brought back for a second match. Okay? So bear that in mind. Done one match, not rave reviews, complaining a bit that they were losing, and maybe not doing the best job they could have done. They were brought back. Then, on the next Collision, the plan was for the duo to wrestle Anna Jay and Ty Mello, right? So two of the bigger names in AEW once again. The creative for the match was 3 minutes, and it was basically going to be the stars going over Tegan Knox and Miranda Alize, right? So they didn't like this. They not that they were going to lose, but they wanted more time, apparently. So they went to AEW, or Tony Khan, who are all the producers, and said, we're not happy with this, we want more time, and they were told, you can't have more time, it's a television show, the times have already been planned out and formatted, and we're not changing it just for you.
Yep.
So, they refused to do the match, as was, and they were told they could go home. They are not signed by AEW. They have been brought in essentially as enhancement talent, and they refuse to do the match.
They forgot they didn't want to do the enhancement part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or the talent part, maybe. I don't know.
And the question is, they didn't know that?
Okay. Well, the question is...
what did they tell them to get the girls? They want to take a look at them?
I don't know. They weren't signed. They were just brought in to put over other people. The point is that these two girls, right, are desperate for work in wrestling, apparently. Tegan Knox gave an interview saying it was a nightmare that she wasn't getting more bookings, and then they go and pull this. Now, Miranda Alize then went online after they were told to go home, or just before, around that time, whenever it was, retweeting fans of like, there were 3, saying that they should get some wins and basically supporting them and they shouldn't be jobbed out, right?
Yeah.
And then they did an online stream, right? An internet stream, then saying that, oh, it's all a big misunderstanding, just no bad blood either way, and, we didn't want to do the match, and they found someone else, and it's fine, everyone's happy. It's like, okay, if you were Tony Khan, Dutch, here's the question. If two basically no-names came to you and said, hey, we don't want a 3-minute match, we actually want to do a 10-minute match to showcase our skills, and you'd already formatted the show, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them if I had somebody else to fill the spot, which he did, I guess, I'd tell them, okay, you need to leave. I tell them to get out of my dressing room because I got business to do. And you have to tell them to leave, even if you like them. Because if somebody puts up and, your dressing room's going to find out. And if Tony coddles them a little bit by allowing them to stay, that makes him look bad. And they're kind of teed off anyway, so you don't know what they're going to be saying in your dressing room. And if you had a cohesive, like friendly dressing room, something like that can cause it to fall apart. Yeah, he did the right thing. I don't know if he did or somebody else did it. Tell the girls to go. They were brought in. They're dying for bookings. And if they're dying for bookings, I'll tell you why they're not getting more. It's because they want too much money on what they could draw.
Or no one's heard of them.
I was right. I was in WWE and blah, 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 put me on your card and would do this. And when nobody knows them, they might as well have stayed on the independents. And I don't know how much money they made in WWE, but how long has she been gone or off her contract?
Tegan Knox was fired or released, whatever you want to call it, or not renewed, either way, November 2024, so just over a year ago. But once again, she's like one of the few people who has left WWE and then not found a load of bookings, which tells me that she wasn't in demand. So therefore, right. I find it crazy that you would then go to AEW. She came out and, hey, I was in WWE for years. The fans didn't react, which is one of the few times the fans have not reacted to a former WWE star. And then, tried to play, the diva card. Or or as Miranda would say afterwards, and keep in mind, Miranda's not been in WWE, standing up for myself. How do you stand up for yourself when you have no leverage and you were brought in to do a job?
Okay, nobody knows them, so they stood up for themselves.
And left. They stood up and got out.
And where are they now? Where are they today? They're back home, still lamenting their lack of bookings. I don't know.
Have you ever heard this?
But I've run across people like that. I thought they didn't want to do this and they didn't want to do that. And I don't get it.
Well, here's an example. And this is a terrible example because I like him as well. But he's well-known enhancement talent, so that's why I'm mentioning him. What if you were booking a card in Puerto Rico or wherever it might be, and then, on the opening match, George South came up to you and said, listen, I've seen that I'm getting beaten in 3 minutes. Actually, what I want to do is have a competitive 10-minute match, or else I go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'd say, well, there's the door, pal. It's like one thing for the main eventers to do that, but it's, when you're unsigned and no one knows who you are and no one's reacting to you.
Well, first of all, George would never do anything like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Great guy. He runs shows, his own show, and beats himself. He said it's a business. He knows that. And they know, but those girls don't know that. They don't know how much money it took to put that show on, how much money that Tony Khan spends on that show. But they're going to go out there and all they're thinking about is themselves. And they could always say, we didn't mind losing, but we just didn't want to lose in 3 minutes. So I said, okay, you got 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I would lengthen it just a little bit. So, but that's what you're going to run into. And it's been around. It's been around forever. But the girls think since they have been under the WWE umbrella that somehow you're supposed to treat them better. I don't get it.
I can't find the exact quote. I didn't copy and paste here. I should have done. But Nixon Newell, after this, the Tegan Knox, said...
Oh, I got to know. What'd she say?
She said...
Anybody with a name like Nixon Newell, I gotta see what kind of words of wisdom she gives us.
The quote was pretty much just like, 3 minutes in this match is not going to benefit anybody. I was like, yes, it will. Your opponents. That's who it's going to benefit. Because they're the stars here, and you're not.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give you once you've heard the phrase.
Listen, okay, you're the agent for that match.
Mm-hmm.
Now, seriously, if they told you that, I mean, and remember now, you gotta be, kind of not too bad. But what would you tell those girls?
I say it's not your decision. It's Tony Khan's decision. If you want to get paid, you will do what is asked of you. And if you want to be blackballed from this company forever, you will not do what is asked of you.
Mm-hmm. And what if they just both turned on you and just beat the living crap out of you?
Have you seen them two? I don't think they could beat a child in real life. You must be kidding.
Hey, that would be a great angle. You got the camera back there, and we're not doing it, by God. You can't make it.
They're really physically unimpressive as well, so it's not.
They just start beating the hell out of them. We'll come back next week, a handicap match, but you've trained. You're ready for them, by God.
So, have you heard the phrase beggars versus choosers?
Yes, I have.
You've got a beggars and choosers situation going on here. Now, here's another quote. They actually said that on this live stream that they were trying to explain themselves or, put themselves in the... They're trying to babyface themselves. Is that they said that there was no bad blood on either side.
Yeah.
So all the reports that all the news outlets were getting were that there was enormous bad blood on the AEW side from the wrestlers and the office that they couldn't believe two people were so stupid as to turn down actual work when they had nothing to fall back on, wrestling-wise.
Okay, where is Nixon Newell from?
Wales.
She American?
No, she's Welsh. She's not too far away from me, in fact.
Okay. What about the other girl?
No idea. She shouldn't even have a Wikipedia page.
And you're saying that they're lesbians?
Yes, they are.
And you had to bring that up?
I didn't have to bring that up, and I didn't. Well, no, I did actually at the beginning. In fact.
You did bring it up.
No, I did bring it up. I'm gaslighting
but
you now.
They'll tell you that. I mean, that's common knowledge, right?
Yes. Well, okay. No, it's common knowledge now. I'm saying that it wasn't common knowledge before because no one actually knew who these people were for the most part.
We told everybody.
Yeah. But anyway, so there's two things. Like, one, there was no bad blood either side. Well, apparently there was an awful lot of bad blood from the AEW side. And also, once again, Miranda was retweeting fans saying that like 3 fans, saying that they deserved more and that they should have some more competitive matches and should get some wins. So it seemed like she was angry as well, is what I'm saying. So it seems like there was bad blood on both sides on that sense. But also...
Well, I can kind of see their point. I do. That, and I think I said this a while ago as a joke, but they don't mind losing. They didn't want to lose in 3 minutes because that's like a squash. You try to avoid the squash matches.
Yeah,
but if
they've
you
got
go
no
out there,
drawing power. They've got no drawing power and they've got no leverage. It's probably more important that they build themselves from the ground up, which they now can't in AEW.
Well, and I'm saying that they've had 8 years to do this. So if AEW, if they don't have any more professional, I don't want to say respect, but if they're not held in higher regard by AEW, then I don't think they could even go back there and do a job. They don't want to deal with them.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't necessarily be, would you agree, Dutch, that just because you've been in WWE that you should be put on a pedestal. I mean, in certain cases, you should be taken as is. And once again, if somebody's not getting a lot of bookings after WWE, that kind of tells you that they weren't well regarded or fans were not that interested.
Her name was Tegan Knox.
Tegan Knox, yeah.
I thought I saw her on there like a month or 2 months ago. No?
No. Nope, November 2024, she was gone. One more thing I just also have to say, in the ladies' words, they were, after disagreeing with the match and whatever, they used the word, they were free, quote, to go home, which I'm kind of decoding as they were told to get their shit and leave.
Yeah. You're free to go home, so at any time would be okay. What if they hang around? Now, what would really be embarrassing if they hung around and you'd had security go in there and take them out?
That would have been funny. Taya Valkyrie, who was, I believe, the husband, wife of Johnny Knoxville, Johnny Nitro, John Morrison. She posted this. Quite a few AEW wrestlers posted stuff, including Dustin Runnels. But she wrote, at the end of the day, this is a business. It is our job. It doesn't matter if you get 1 minute or 45. You make every second in front of those fans and on that TV count. It's an honor and a privilege to be part of the show. I've been doing this 15 years. I've been in every position. And every single aspect of the show, big or small, is important. Make it count.
She should have given that advice to Tegan Knox and the other girl, Miranda Alize, or what's her name. That's what she should have told them. It doesn't matter if you get 1 minute, 45 minutes. Make it count.
And guess what? They were replaced by two girls who were absolutely desperate for the opportunity and took the opportunity and might get more work because of it.
Mm-hmm. And listen, people say, "Oh, don't do a bunch of jobs straight up." People don't remember that. It's if they could. Who was the kid? Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how many times they beat him. They beat him every time he got in the ring on SmackDown. Every time, but his matches were so good, they couldn't deny him. And so he did it because it was his job. And then he turned into what he is now. Now they trust him and they can do stuff with him in the future. But nobody, even though I bet you he lost at least 2 months right in a row. Because I used to be as a part of my Sportskeeda employment when we did the podcast, I was obliged to watch that show, SmackDown, but it was good. And I started watching him, but now they can put him in anything and what he did, he actually got over by losing. And that is a very, very rare situation. But I've seen guys, yes.
You did it. Tell people how you take a loss and come out more over from it, because you did this.
I did it, yeah.
What did you do when you lost after the fact?
Oh, I just pitched the biggest bitch, crybaby, kick around. And then the people said, "Oh, look at him," and I go, like I'm crying. People said, "Oh, get up, you big baby." Then I'm mad. So I get up but that was the last thing they remember about me, is because what I did at the end after I had lost was I pitched the big baby fit. That's what they remember. And I'd rather them remember that than the loss. So nobody ever told me not to do it, so I kept doing it.
So
and you know why I kept doing it?
Because they didn't tell you to stop. You kept losing. Hey, but guess what? You kept getting paid as well.
I did. Hey, getting beat it was never one of my quirks. I didn't care. I did not care. Al Snow will tell you that. Just pay me. That's all, that's what it is. And a lot of guys, they said, "Hey, go out there and have the greatest match you can have and get your money and let's go."
So just to wrap it up, Miranda then put on social media last night, I think, or yesterday, a woe is me style brief message, which basically said, how dare we be criticised for standing up for ourselves. And once again, I think a lot of people have been talking about the, if you remember the Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, and Naomi when they walked out on Raw a couple of years ago. And I said, well, the difference is that they had name recognition and they had fallbacks. Mercedes Moné did better than she ever did in WWE. Naomi did pretty well before going back as well. They had fallbacks and name recognition and TV time behind them to, they were stars.
Yeah.
These two are not. So it's not standing up for yourself. You just overinflated ego, I think. Would that be right to say?
They want to, yeah, exactly. They think they're owed something. The very fact that they brought them through the door, and they had to know they were going to lose just coming in there, but they didn't want to lose in 3 minutes. Hey, it's TV, kids. I hate to tell you, that's what it is. That's what you got. And if you don't want to do it, we'll find somebody else. Even if we had to break it down and make it a single match, we'll fill the spot with you or without you.